Hey. Yeah. Yes, y'all. Welcome back to episode 2 of Bad Habits of Podcast. My name is C.
My name is Notion.
And we are your illustrious hosts. Guys, thank you so much for coming back again for another week. Much respect to everyone who came through on the first podcast. We took a couple days extra to upload all the stuff. I forgot how long this shit takes to get a podcast live on Spotify and Apple Podcasts and stuff. I haven't submitted a new podcast for like 5 years, so there was a short delay. Now I think when we put it live, the shit will just be up like tomorrow, good to go. And I think it'll be on Google Podcasts and the other nonsense. I don't know how long that shit takes, but I don't really know how many people use that. So, no, you good, Sam?
Mate,
wow,
chilling,
Sam,
man. It's been a busy week. How's it been your end?
Man, chilling. Long weekend here. Not that that means anything.
No, I didn't know it was Monday until, I don't know, this morning, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I went to go get a coffee and then everything's closed. I'm like, oh, hang on a sec. Oh, fucking yeah. Long weekend.
Right.
Spewing.
It's the plague of the, I guess, self-employed / entrepreneur human, where the actual, what's happening in the real world doesn't really affect you too much.
Yeah,
so you don't really know.
Liberating. It's a fun thing to get used to, but then like occasionally you just, you mess up like I did this morning, but it's okay.
At least it was close by though, right?
Very close by.
Man's made it back. Tiff sending us a fire emoji.
Oh, there you go.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, we are back in business. The other thing we're going to make better. So last week, we basically just ripped the audio from this, the live that you're watching, if anyone's watching it right now. Now, I don't know why we didn't do this, because I've been doing this for the beer podcast, and we've been interviewing
Longest
people.
Time. We're both not brand new to any of this.
Yeah, I just don't know.
Either side of it.
Right?
I didn't record into Logic, so he didn't get me through my microphone. He got me through my computer, and
then came through with Skype. So now we're recording each side, and we slap that together, so the audio is going to be tighter unless we have guests. But then the other caveat to that is on this podcast, because in the beer one, pretty much nobody has a microphone, right? Because they're beer people.
No, that's fine.
In the hip hop world, a lot of people have the equipment, so there's more of a chance it's going to sound more fire. Because if they can record their end and we can sync it all up, then it's going to be quality. And whilst the expectation for like this quarantine time is mad low for like the quality of anything, any online content, I feel like the tighter we can make it, the better. We've always paid a lot of attention to that stuff. Probably because you're an engineer.
Value.
Yeah, right. I think it's important.
Absolutely, it's important.
I'm not really too into listening to too many Skype podcasts. So these days, I guess you're going to be more forgiving. Anyways.
True.
So this week we got a bunch to talk about. I'm excited. So last week, if you didn't listen, go check that out, because we went through, like, it was a longer podcast than normal. I'd say we're going to shoot for around the hour mark, typically. Last week was 2 hours, but it was because the first full hour was our story. We wanted to get that out, but also talk about like relevant stuff that was happening. So that's why we just kept it moving. Plus it was fun.
Absolutely.
It was a good time. So this week now it's just like, this is a standard podcast. I'm actually almost more excited for this episode, because now we're just going to be like, we're going to get in our zone,
In our regular groove. Yeah, I agree.
So one thing that occurred to me, I mentioned this to you when we were prepping earlier as some like a pre-production, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It kind of hit me this week. I was like, man, we are two white dudes from Australia making a hip-hop podcast, which is a black culture. I just want to sort of note that we are super aware of that, that we are very, I guess also aware that we are guests in the culture, and we are gracious and we are humble, and we know that this culture was not made by us or necessarily for us, and we have been nothing but welcomed into it. And I just wanted to sort of say that we are, not coming from
appreciative of that as well.
Absolutely. Particularly with all the shows and the different people who've worked with us from literally everywhere, whether it's on recorded music or anything else. So we are grateful for any acceptance that we've had over the years. We understand our position. So we are, I figure that as this thing grows, because we're going to keep it consistent, that's probably something that'll come up, I would imagine.
It should come through quite
People might call it out and be like, what's going on with these guys, and I respect that. So,
And they can do the research and see we put our time and love and effort in, and it all reigns true. So
yes,
that's fine.
And we show a lot of respect to the originators.
Paid for that.
Yeah, absolutely. I just wanted to bring it up. I don't want to go on about it necessarily, but just was like I wanted to, and I know you felt the same way. We just wanted to express it formally once and for all to be like, look, we're aware. We know it's like two dudes, but we are also, we're not trying to be some sort of like authority that we're not or anything. This is just our opinions on things.
And we just enjoy the culture and we want to discuss it and, express our little, gems that we find along the way.
Yeah, pretty much. And, like we said in the lengthy ass last episode that we grew up in it more or less of our own doing and we surrounded ourselves by it. So I feel more aligned with hip hop culture than essentially anything else. It's sort of like where I feel most at home, and I know you do as well. So with that out the way, let's get down to business. Dog. So the first thing, let's just talk about some new music that happened this week, or in the past, mostly the weekend, which is why we chose to do it on a Monday.
Yeah.
If in my opinion there wasn't a lot that I was interested in. Do you want to start off? Because I know you checked out some stuff, and
basically, yeah. I mean, like you mentioned a bunch of new stuff. I don't tend to keep up on what's dropping that's brand new, because usually I'm just like, meh, or whatever. But I definitely went through the list that you sent me.
Yep.
So I listened to the Polo G stuff.
What was that like? Because that was the one thing I didn't get around to.
Okay, that was the first thing that was on the list, or actually Roy Woods was. I listened to that, and then, okay, so let's start with Roy Woods.
Start with Roy Woods, because I just heard that today.
It just was like, I don't know, it wasn't for me at all. It sounded tired and the same. Like, it sounded like bad R&B, and I just didn't enjoy it at all. I barely even nodded. The beats were okay.
Mm-hmm.
I genuinely couldn't get into it at all.
Yeah.
I tried, though. I listened to, like, more than half the album and skipped through the songs that were weaker, and it didn't hit me. It was just like recycled, lots of auto-tune, same stuff. Wasn't keen.
I'm with you, man. Like, it kind of sounded like
Roddy Ricch.
Or like a B-rate Weekend is what I thought.
Right.
It was, and because it was OVO, because Roy Woods is OVO. I thought he was a rap. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not.
That's what I was expecting. I didn't know either.
Yeah. So do you know what I also want to? I feel like we also have to make it clear where we're coming from. Like, we do listen to new music. We primarily like rapidy rap or like straight up sort of R&B soul. Like the auto-tune stuff for you and me, I don't think hits super hard. I don't think it's like our bag.
Unless it's done really well, and that's usually it's few and far between. Like, it's usually just more welcomed on hooks, and we're okay with that. But like when it's, I don't know, it's definitely different. And we come from the old school, and we were raised on that, so that's where we're coming from. When I have these opinions, and you have the same kind of thing, that's exactly the angle we're coming from. So people shouldn't be like, oh, why is he hating on it? It's because it's not exactly authentic, dude.
No.
Do research and check it out.
Yeah, exactly. And just to even put that into perspective, say OVO, I really like Division, but I'm not really into Roy Woods, because Division, like Daniel, is a great singer, and the music is fantastic.
Smooth though,
super smooth, and it's over trap beats. It's modern.
Mm-hmm. It's well written. Also, I found that Roy Woods was it didn't not much grabbed me. Like I
didn't have
no
bars.
Was the best part of it. Nothing really like stood out to me. It sounded like it was like a bunch of I don't know. Without getting too into it, it was not for me.
Okay, so there's probably no point taking that further, because we feel the same, it seems.
Yeah.
Polo G, tell me about that. Tell me what you think of that, because what does he rap, or is it auto-tune too?
It's both. There was only, I listened to like 9 songs, and not overall grabbing me. Like, the best song was the one with BJ the Chicago Kid.
Well, he's
because he flipped the Changes sample from Tupac, and he actually rapped about, he had some substance rapping, and it was actually cool. He's telling hood stories and hood tales, and about how people should, the change sort of topic. That was really good. Obviously,
round of applause for that one. Round of applause. There you go.
Hugely a huge fan of BJ the Chicago Kid from the Selection days, I'm pretty sure. Early Selection-ish, and that was a huge standout. The song with Little Baby was okay.
Yep.
I genuinely couldn't tell the difference between them. I had to skip back and check. I not even just had to check.
Hey, man, they all kind of sound similar these days, all the Lils.
The production was excellent. Mixing was excellent. I wasn't a fan overall. It was definitely on the Roddy Ricch kind of like how he rolls, and that's cool. Okay. I definitely fuck with some of that, but not for a whole album.
Do you know what? That's a great point, because I like Roddy Ricch too, more than I thought I would. But it's like I couldn't listen to the whole album. I was like, chuck a couple of the joints in a playlist or put him on some hooks. I'm like, sick. But like 15, 18 songs of that, like, nah, fam. Nothing.
Yeah, I was just genuinely shocked. Between those two, it was like I sat back and I wrote in capitals on my notes, everything sounds the same, fam. And I was like, that was my initial.
Okay.
Like, okay, well, I'll move on.
Okay.
So,
and I don't think that's coming from, you're also like, you're an engineer and a producer. So I feel like you're listening
I'm
for.
triple analyzing it.
Yeah, right. So you're not being like once again, I know I'm also concerned because people will just, if you don't like something, people call you a hater.
I'm not being dismissive. I'm like doing it.
No.
I listened to it a couple times, sat back with the monitors on. Like, I didn't just like,
Yeah, totally.
I skip back and check. So it's, it's not exactly just a one shot listen, which is also something that, J. Cole talks about. Like, I hate people giving these, one run write ups.
Yeah.
It's not exactly a fair representation. So yeah, that.
Grim Jowl, by the way, just showed us gave the 100 emoji. Was good, fam. Was
there
good.
You go. Bang, bang.
Okay, so no more on Polo?
Not really.
No.
That was the main notes. I thought, they were the standouts, those two
That's
songs.
Good.
Everything
Okay.
else is, for the most part, good, but I didn't didn't all grab me. I give it like a 5.
Okay. Man's rating, I like that.
No, I don't know. I just thought I'd...
just run that. There wasn't many projects that kind of dropped this week too. Like it was mostly, at least that I was interested in. There's mostly singles.
Yeah. I've also been trying to catch up on the stuff that was released,
the last few weeks.
Of the last little, yeah, dude. I'm still trying to catch up because I'm busy, engineering during the week, and sometimes I don't genuinely listen to general listen to music because I've been mixing it all day. So sometimes I don't get into. Yeah, I just turn it off. So I have a different sort of music regimen than everybody else.
Gotcha.
Because I do it so much.
I understand. I couldn't imagine how you do your job. Like whenever I hear you just doing it for a second and playing the same piece over and over, I'm just like, ugh.
Yeah, so I sit in silence after it for a while, and then I put in some lo-fi hip hop to just literally how
get it out of your head.
When you have big speakers in your studio, every few months or whatever, you should do the signal test, and it goes through 20 to 20,000 hertz, and it just resets your monitors. Me listening to chill hop after I've been mixing for hours resets my ears.
That's cool. Tips, engineering tips.
IllNote Studios.
IllNote Studios YouTube. Check them out.
There you go.
What else did you have on that list there?
The Will Smith and the Joyner Lucas remix, or the Joyner Lucas with the Will Smith remix. That's crazy.
Super cool for him. I'm really happy for him, man. Yeah. First positive for the week. Yeah.
Yeah.
I really fuck with Joyner.
One he's done in ages. Like I don't know if Joyner helped him write that or wrote it, but it was fire.
That was what you said to me earlier, and I think that was an interesting point. Because Will actually came with it. I feel like maybe Joyner might have helped him with flow. Because it sounded like Will Smith lyrics, though. It didn't sound like, you know what I mean?
Agree. There was a freestyle or the last song that Will Smith put out, he's rapping over a Jazzy Jeff beat, and he was still saying how he got it and shit. That was, that sounded like he wrote it too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that Joyner might have had an influence or some sort of whatever, but it was absolute fire. Best Will verse I've heard in ages. And I just think it was funny that he mentioned that he didn't cuss, and he went through all of his wholesome things. It's great. He's a good bloke.
Yeah, I think he's great. He's becoming like better in his older age. He's got the YouTube channel. He's got the series on Snapchat now. As soon as you got
Instagram,
his Instagram is lit. Like
crazy.
He's really dope, and I think it's cool that he gave a look to someone like Joyner, who isn't exactly a young kid. He's in his 30s and stuff as well. And he's a lyrical dude who happens to make, mainstream accessible hip hop music. But Joyner's videos are some of the illest in the game. And to have Will, do one for him, then because Joyner was friends with Jaden. I don't know did you see the Will Smith? He had a YouTube video where he had Joyner and Jaden on a Zoom call, like a Skype.
Oh yes, that was post him finding out about the song, and he was like saying, "Yo, this is fire." And then I guess I missed that middle piece. So I guess they were like, "Yo, let's do a thing."
They talked about it, and they were like, they kind of hinted at something happening
because they're both dads and shit. There was a whole bunch of correlations, or whatever you call it, parallels.
Yeah, just cool, isn't it? Like I can imagine for Joyner, he's been working for a minute, getting lots of cosigns. He's doing some great stuff.
I didn't know he's friends with
Jaden.
Jaden, yeah, that's.
I think Jaden's friends with everybody.
That makes sense.
Jaden seems like a good bloke.
Pretty friendly bloke.
Yeah, I love it. That was actually probably one of my favorite songs of the last week, or at least even if I didn't love the song that much.
I played it more than other singles.
I like the sentiment behind it more than anything. I just think it's cool when someone gets realize that dream type thing and just be like, yo, and get to work with someone that makes it's their dream artist and made a tribute to him, and then all of a sudden Mans does a remix to that. That's very cool.
Crazy, man. I think Will was really pumped about the creativity with the video, and also just the lyrics were just super fire. So I guess he was like, fuck it, I'm gonna give him a nod. And then that was just, I mean, whether it was all planned from the start and that was like that was the plan. I don't know. That's brilliant either way. Well executed.
100% agree. Definitely.
That's sick.
What else you got there?
We listened to
a couple of singles.
I listened to Road James with
Brandy
on it.
That was a cool track.
That was fire because
nice.
Brandy's been our girl C
from time.
So everyone knows we've been listening to her since we were little baby boys.
Yes.
And so it's hard not to dig that one. That was super smooth, quality, and there's that's a good example of when auto-tune is used nicely and to accentuate or accompany the vocal. So there was lots of good things about that. That was quality all around. I'm fairly new to Road James, so that was super fire. Big fan.
I've heard it. He opened for somebody that we saw before, I think. So I was
Really?
familiar with him, or I can't remember. Tiff might remember, but I swear he opened for someone. That's how I knew who he was and checked him out
okay.
from there. So I was happy. I feel like Brandy's coming back. She had she's got an album coming. I think it's in June or July. She had the single. We didn't really talk about it last week. She had a single with Chance, and I think we talked about it.
I didn't hear that. Okay.
It was, and I saw on someone tweet, they were like, yeah, I like how everyone just pretended that didn't happen. Because it wasn't great. And it was just kind of corny. And,
who was worse on it?
Chance. I can't front. Like we talked about this, I think,
okay.
on the live. Neither you or I are big fans of Chance. He seems like a nice dude.
I'm not a huge fan of his music, as in I wouldn't run it, but it seems like a good bloke, and also after meeting him, he was super dope. But
we
again,
talked about that,
you wouldn't catch me running many. I guess some of the songs he features on, but yeah, you're right.
Yeah, right. So like everyone kind of pretended that didn't happen. Grim also says, "You already know things are lit. Mad love for you guys. Much respect, my dude. Appreciate you coming through." Big up. That was a great one. I agree. Did you hear the Joel Ortiz and Crooked Eye collab? I think it was called Hard, but like H.A.
Yeah, I did. I checked that one out because the homie Eggwad told me to look at that and tag me in the post. So that was fire. That's disgusting. Love them both.
Yeah.
That was just,
And that was the single. They have an EP coming too, if I'm not mistaken.
Right, yeah. So that was, that's going to look good. That's a good look for what's to come. So
yeah, agreed.
When I went on Spotify to look for that, it just went to Crooked Eye and Apollo Brown on the Joel Ortiz and Apollo Brown's album straight after that. So I listened to a bit of that. Pretty damn nice.
Apollo's
I was late to that too.
Apollo was just too
prolific. He's
prolific.
got albums, like full albums with everybody.
It's just ridiculous, and they're all ridiculous.
15 tracks.
Boom.
Crazy good.
Yeah, I'm super impressed with him. Like he's always, and because it's our vibe. It's like the soul beats all the time, and I love it that like he's doing that. Who did he do it with? He did one with Rascats was amazing.
Crazy.
I listened to that a ton. He did one with I think Guilty Simpson, if I'm not wrong.
Sky Zoo, like dude, he's done
Sky? Okay.
Everyone, dude.
Yeah, and
Crazy.
it's just like it's dudes we already liked, but I swear he did one with someone that I maybe didn't listen to a lot before, and it made me appreciate them because I know the beats are going to be like flames.
No, that's a good point. I'm opening up my iTunes right now. I'm gonna have a look because I've got enough of that in my thing.
Yeah, take a look as well.
The
Go.
Grandeur was his album. So the Easy Truth was the Apollo Brown and Sky Zoo one. That was the one I was talking about.
Oh yeah, that album's brilliant.
That's disgusting.
Yeah,
but the Grandeur was what I was talking about. It has lots of different things in it. Anyway, lots of features.
So yeah, Apollo Brown is sick. The other album I mentioned to you, and I actually listened to it today in the end. I wasn't planning to, but Future's album, the new one,
I wouldn't have. No.
Which is called. Hang on, I got it right here. High Off Life. Look, I never liked Future even for a sec. I just wanted to check it out. That's for the culture.
I guess
Not for me.
I mean, if
they
you
all
want to
sound the
talk
same.
about it, I'll check it out. But that was the last on my list today.
Look, it's not our thing. It's no. Once again, no hate. I was about to say he seems like a
just
good guy. He doesn't seem like a good guy either. But people really love his music, and he was the one that was super big when we were kind of like on our purest game. I'm talking like 5-6 years ago, and we were sort of like I can't speak for you, but it took me a little bit to get comfortable with like
to the new sound and the trap stuff, the rolling hi-hats, all that stuff.
It's not that as much as the auto-tune whackness, because I wanted I really was a antagonist for that for quite some time, and then I kind of just got past it and just appreciated it for what it is.
It was also saturation. You kind of had to get used to it. Like, what are you going to do?
I mean, but now I love rapping over it. Yeah, exactly. You're right. Anything new, right? But I like rapping over that stuff now. Like, it's so sick to spit over trap beats. It's one of my faves. It's fantastic.
That's true.
It is fun.
It makes you rap and write different, which is what I enjoy.
Completely different, and that's it. And it challenges you. And you're like, oh man. But then it's also boring as fucking everyone just does the double time flow all the time. So I think that's kind of yawn. That's why I like some sort of a blend of like, it doesn't all have to sound like that. You know?
You have to have some sort of soul element to it, then it's fine what you put on top. As long as it's got some sort of groove, man's is ready.
Yeah, I feel like I had a single a couple of years back called Hazy, and I feel it was produced by Shugo from Germany, who's worked with a bunch of big names, and he's a G, and it was basically a soul sample of trap beats. And I feel like that was one of the most, people always tell me, it was like a Lucy in my year of doing Lucy's in 2017.
Yeah.
And people keep telling me that should be on an album or something. I get that, people tell me all the time. I'm just like, really? Like, okay. But I think it's because it's got that like soul sample over the trap drums, like the 808s or whatever. Yep. So like, that's sick. That's really good to know though, that people are messing with that sound. Like that's what people are really interested in. Probably because of overkill, like you said, of the other sound, where everything sounds the same. Like Future's album sounds like that Polo G one, I guess, because like every track I was like, I couldn't really differentiate. Then he'd have him, there was a song with Uzi Vert, and I was like, oh, which one's which? And like,
gotcha.
You know, there's a few dudes you can. He had Travis Scott on there, which I like Travis Scott, actually. He's pretty dope.
He's not too bad. Definitely coming around. He was hit and miss at the beginning, but I definitely
I never liked
warmed
him
up to him. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Because it was exactly the sound. Like when I very first heard him, the first 4 songs I heard sounded like they were identical.
100%. And that was the I think it was called Al Ferro, was that first mixtape, or one of the first ones. And then he had the Rodeo Project, only because my friend Cam, a producer in Australia, was always putting me on, sending me all the stuff all the time, and kind of making me listen to all this trap shit. That's kind of why I discovered it, because he kept forcing it on me, which is kind of cool.
What a bastard.
Well, you know, made me appreciate some. I found some fire from that, but other times I'm just like, dude, why are you sending me this trash? But like now I appreciate it. Astro World was actually cool. Like that was a slapper of an album. Like, and you listen to the production, like it's actually fire. Like it's really crazy. It's nothing that I want to make, but I'm like, fuck, man, this hits. And you can't front, like the shit hits and it works on a level. Plus also his marketing's genius. He did the Fortnite show. Did you see that on the game?
I did not, sir.
So like the video game, once again, I don't play video games, neither do you, so I don't really get it. But this game Fortnite, and they did this, like 12 million people tuned in to watch this, like essentially, I don't know if he actually performed it like live, but it was all CGI. Like it was like this huge, and you could go in the video game and you could go and his shoe was as big as a house type of thing, and you know he was huge, and you could go and climb on him and do all this stuff or whatever. It was actually kind of cool. And he's a character in the game too and stuff like that, so it's pretty fun, and it's helped his branding, so it's kind of genius, you know?
Yeah, it is. Everyone, I mean, dude, you know, Fortnite is everywhere.
People seems to like,
seems to, you
seem to like it.
I have a few friends that are on Instagram and they post all their Twitch videos to the IG, so that's the only reason why I know what it is, and I've seen some gameplay. Otherwise, I wouldn't have a clue, fam.
Really, like what the hell it's all about. I still don't know what it's about. It's like a bunch of people running around. You got to shoot mans and like.
But the thing that fucks with me, I'm all about running around shooting mans. But the thing that fucks me up, fucking people are building shit, and then it's like all these invisible walls. Like, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous. Anyway, we've got a bunch
of
12-year-olds laughing at us right now. It's gonna be
right.
Great.
It makes it sound like old ass dudes, but I just feel like I've always been a hater on video games. It's like I just feel like shouldn't you be doing something more? Which is a dumb attitude, I guess. But like I'm always like, shouldn't you be doing something more constructive at the time than sitting your fucking ass playing video games? But that's judgmental, and I'm trying to stop that. I'm trying to stop that trait. It's not positive. You know what I'm saying? Also,
it's 2020, fam, and people make money from being an EA Sports star, and it's a different time. Gary Vee would shit on you for saying that.
He would. That's probably.
We've all grown up with video games. I used to, full disclosure, used to work at Nintendo when the GameCube dropped. Blah blah blah. Big fan of games and all that sort of console shit when I was a kid, and then music took over, and I just didn't find time for it, and I don't know, just kind of grew away from it, not out of it. I still think it's cool, but I just don't find any time for it.
Would you play, would you consider getting a console or any of that stuff, like, now, at all? At any time?
I couldn't. I would sit in the corner and gather the biggest dust bunnies you've ever seen. I wouldn't use it. It's also kind of the reason why I haven't got Netflix, bro. Like, I just don't have time to watch shit. Or, if I do make time to watch shit, I was watching the Raptors, and that was my time to sit down and do nothing for a couple of hours, give my wrist a rest from fucking all the mouse work. So, genuinely didn't go for the games, or that's how I have my breaks now. So
that's fair. Do you know what I did with watching the shows? You actually told me to do this back in the day. I never I just would like eat dinner and just keep kind of working and doing stuff. And you're like, man, you need to chill. You should watch a show when you eat. And I'm like, okay. So now I've been doing that since before I left Australia because you told me to do that. Dude. And I watch that. We watch something, just one show every night with dinner, and then that's it.
That's nice.
And that's enough. Because it keeps you up with the culture. It's a good break from everything, and it gives you we watch show, like the Michael Jordan like documentary, and once you see it, we'll talk about it
I'm keen as fuck. I'm gonna go out of my way to watch that.
Yeah, it's really, really fire. But then we watch shows like Succession or Billions, where they're like, or House of Cards before problematic Kevin Spacey fucked up, and it was they like strategy. So we like watching the shows where like there's like people that are like doing stuff and trying to overcome things, or like business type of stuff. It's really like one track minded, I guess, to a degree, but like that's the main type of stuff we prefer to watch. So I feel like even when we're watching shows, you're like, look at the strategy, we discuss the strategy. They think, oh my god, it's fucking genius. Yeah, things like that. Good. So it's not like there's like a complete waste of time that we would consider. Like you're still learning something and taking something from that experience.
100%, man. Like instead of watching, because I don't have any of the streaming things, or I do, but like I watch Disney Plus every now and again. For example, I'm watching Our Strange Rock. It's a big like doco series hosted by Will Smith, all about how the world started and blah blah blah. It's just, cool. I love as you know, like we when we had Foxtel or cable in Australia, we used to watch National Geographic, Discovery and Animal Planet, all that. I was obsessed. School holidays, whatever, just burn a ting and just watch documentaries. So if I'm not learning, it's kind of like hard for me to watch something. Like I don't watch movies because they're shit and they're boring, or the dialogue's horrible. I'm poking holes in shit. I'm seeing the differences in the lighting in the background, or the CG doesn't match. There's inconsistencies, continuity errors, blah 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 blah. So I can't watch things and enjoy and relax. So if I'm watching a movie, the last thing that I actually liked was Knives Out. That was a crazy movie. It's like a Cluedo whodunit kind of thing, but in a movie. Star-studded fucking bomb. Last thing I even watched that I was remotely even like halfway through, like I'm going to see the whole thing of this. So yeah, like I watch documentaries. I watch like I'll go online and watch mixing and or mastering tutorials. Like that's my chill time. So I watch learning stuff because I get super bored. And if I'm going to watch anything, I'll just go and watch the Bulls '96 games again, or you know what I mean?
Right.
So,
okay, interesting.
Well, we chill different.
Everyone probably does, right? I guess, and that's what it comes down to. Like, you can't be judging man's chill habits.
No, not at all. And I think I'm just a different kind of chiller. I just have to get information all the time. It's weird.
I feel that, man. I very much do. I love it.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the versus battles, because last Saturday night, so this is Monday right now, on Saturday night, the latest one went down between Ludacris and Nelly.
Yeah,
on Instagram Live. Once again, if you're not familiar, the TLDRs, Timbaland and Swiss Beats, did a live where they were playing each other their songs back and forth, and then they basically made a thing called Versus, and it's become like a whole thing, a whole cultural phenomenon that's keeping people on their shit during quarantine. And the latest one that was sanctioned by them was Ludacris versus Nelly. Now, the week before was Erykah Badu versus Jill Scott that we talked at length about last podcast.
Wow.
Grim is he's saying, I feel the same way about Fortnite. So whack. I feel you, right? Good.
He's a gamer too.
Yeah.
So there you go.
So that's how man's know.
Occasionally, I guess it's for a younger crowd. There you go.
Yeah, exactly. So we can't judge. So this one, now I was never a big fan of either of these dudes. I'm not going to front. So I was not that interested in it, but Tiff.
We used to jam to Nelly, bro. Come on.
No, I jammed. No, trust me. Like, that was the country grammar was my shit. But I'm saying, like, I guess over I didn't really follow him after that. And Ludacris, I never bought a Ludacris album, like, ever.
Fair.
Tiff's like, it was a vibe.
It definitely was nostalgic. And a certain vibe.
No, it totally was. So Tiffany's my girlfriend and our producer for, I guess, all the podcast stuff that we do, and she essentially, I guess, manages our music stuff as well. So Tiff, this is her era. So I kind of, what's the word? Like, I kind of took her guidance, I guess, for doing this. So I have in my hand here the actual track list, and we went through it on the night and judged it one by one. I told you to do the same. And then we went through it again today because we had ties. So
okay.
Let's go through
If we have ties, is that going to be a problem?
No, it's fine. Because I was like, I just did it at the end. I tallied up both what we both said, like how many 100% for each person and how many ties. So both of us essentially voted for the same person, and I'd be curious to see. So the first track, basically they played one track. It was sort of the first half was Luda went first, and the second half Nelly went first. The first one was Welcome to Atlanta with Jermaine Dupri, and Nelly played Na 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 Na, which I'd never heard in my life.
Never heard of it. I was like, what is he doing?
I know, I'm in front. I probably hadn't heard 50 to 60% of the songs ever.
Yeah,
So
40%. I was like, what the fuck? Because like I didn't know the first one, but as we got on, because we were texting each other, and you're like, did you do any of these? I'm like, I know a few of them. Like I knew most of them so far, and you had no idea. I'm like,
no
what the
idea.
Fuck? You know way more about this shit.
But you know what, dude? This was like an era that like listening to them both. Like it wasn't the type of music I was just listening. It wasn't slapping.
No, the South stuff didn't like really bang that hard, especially in Melbourne.
Not really. And Luda was always dope on features. But he's kind of like Busta Rhymes to me. Like the albums were whatever, but
it's like
on
four or five songs out of 10 or 12 that were absolute keepers or worth banging again. I agree.
His albums.
Yeah.
Word. So I'm not gonna lie. I don't think I ever heard a full Ludacris album. Like it was just not my thing. You never
heard Chicken and Beer top to bottom?
Never. Because I don't care.
That's a banger.
Right, Country Grammar was my shit though. I used to be the only dude in the club dancing to Country Grammar in Melbourne. I used to bother the DJ. Even when I was a promoter and the artist with the company we were with that I explained in the first episode, I would be the only... No, Midnight, when we did the Midnight Soul District.
Sorry.
I was like the only dude caring about it. The DJs would never play it. They waited till later in the night, till everyone was like... Either played it mad early or later. So... I did fuck with the Nelly. So anyway, the first round, I gave it to Ludacris. I thought it was not even a question.
Welcome to Atlanta is incredible.
Second, Ludacris, Pussy Poppin', Nelly, Tip Drill. What did you vote?
I think Pussy Poppin' because I didn't know the other one.
Okay, we went with Tip Drill because Tiff showed me about it because it was the first sort of hip hop porno video essentially. They were on BET Uncut, so all the chicks were
R-rated.
It was probably like, I don't know if it was X, it was like penetration, but it was like titties and ass and all that, and probably puss everywhere and shit. So it was like
days.
But we didn't have BET, so like we missed that era because we were in Australia and you couldn't get that shit. So that's why I have no relation to this. Next is Ludacris versus featuring Nicki, My Chick Bad, Nelly, Pimp Juice. What'd you go?
I think I went for Luda, My Chick Bad, right?
I have no idea what you went.
I'm trying to find I'm still trying to find my notes, bro.
Find your notes. I can carry
on.
Yeah, okay. So keep looking while I'm doing that. So we said I'm not speaking. I'm telling you when Tiff said something different. I said Nelly. Hang on, number 3. No, Ludacris. I'm sorry, Ludacris. Don't know why I didn't know either of them. Tiff kind of helped me make that decision, or I just went with the song that I either liked more,
had like a better beat or whatever. Like, if I didn't know the song, I'm like, whichever.
Because Tiff was like, "What do we judge?"
It
was like, "What?" Usually, yes, but it was like, "What are we judging on? Is it cultural impact, or is it like is it a bigger hit?" And no one ever really. Oh, Uncle Mike, DJ Digital Junkie, send some hearts, love you, Mike, you're the best. So yeah, we didn't. This is all very subjective as fuck. Track the fourth one. I'm gonna keep going faster because otherwise I'm gonna be here forever. Ludacris, Ho, Nelly, Flap Your Wings. Didn't know either of them. Do you know?
Yeah, Nelly. I think Flap Your Wings was nicer.
Okay, I went with Nelly
too.
Had
a better beat or something like that.
Yep. 5 was Ludacris, Saturday, Nelly, Ride With Me.
Nelly.
I went with Nelly too. I love that song before radio ruined it and all the fucking white people in
ran into the ground.
Number 6, this was probably the best competition in the whole one. Ludacris, What's Your Fantasy, and Nelly, Country Grammar.
Yeah, I ended up going for Nelly because I would jam it more than Watch Your Fantasy, but they're both fucking sick tracks. Absolutely, very hard to go. That was a good,
really good one
from both of them. Yeah,
yes,
solid.
That was when we officially went with a tie. Both Tiff and I agreed on a tie on that one. If I had a gun to my head, I would pick Country Grammar. But overall, they were tied because that's my favorite Ludacris song ever.
Yep.
Number 7 is Ludacris Rollout, Nelly featuring Ashanti and Akon, Body on Me.
Rollout because it stomps.
Yes, that's what Tiff said. I said Body on Me because I didn't know it because that was Ludacris' first solo single and it was just like, it does nothing. I'm not moved by Ludacris at all. Like he does nothing for me. I can't help it. I'm just not interested. That's okay. Strange how much I don't care. You know, it is what it is. I still respect the dude. Number 8, Ludacris, Splash, Waterfalls. Number 9, Nelly featuring Jaheim, My Place.
My Place because it's fire. Jaheim's the god. That was also a very good head-to-head. That was tough, but yeah.
Tiff went with Luda, but I went with Nelly for sure as well because you and I have a soft spot for Jaheim, and that sample was fucking amazing.
Disgusting.
Number 9, Sierra featuring Ludacris, O, and then Biggie featuring Nelly, Nasty Girl.
Oh, like I don't know. That was that. I still can't find my notes. I'm just going on a fly, dog. Just
good.
because of Biggie, and that was the biggest song, I guess. Both super fire. But I guess I danced with more girls to the Nelly joint at the club, I guess.
Fair.
Right? Let's just do it because of that.
I had no idea. I didn't think I even knew that song. I went with O because I actually don't. I don't like Ciara typically, but I like.
I love
joint.
that video clip.
Yeah, it's pretty fire.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to keep moving a bit faster because we're going to tap out the entire podcast just by talking about this, and we've got other topics.
Do it.
Nas featuring Jadakiss and Luda, Made You Look remix. State Property featuring Nelly, Rock the Mic remix.
Made You Look, son.
Made You Look is what I went for as
Out of
well.
control.
Shorty Low featuring Ludacris, They Know remix. No, yeah, and Nelly, 1,000 Stacks. I don't know either of these songs, bro.
I don't know either of those, so I think I went with Luda by default.
So did I. Number 12 is Usher featuring Ludacris and Lil Jon, yeah, and then Jagged Edge featuring Nelly, Where the Party At.
Oh, see, they're both super fire.
Yeah.
I guess Where the Party At because I danced to it more. Again, let's go back to my experience with the joint. Fuck
Yeah,
it.
that's what I did too. I think that's the only thing you can actually do. I think that's the fairest thing for this is make it subjective. Otherwise, it's pointless.
That's what they said at the start. There's a lot of nostalgia going to be brought up when you hear these tunes, and then half of the time I was like actually standing up, just giving a little, hey, you going in my little lounge room here. So
Beauty.
good times.
I went with the same one. Party Out was huge for me when we were clubbing, but like I hated that Lil Jon Crunk era, and I stopped clubbing by then.
But it wasn't. It was different for sure.
Yeah. Number 12. 13. Ludacris featuring Shawnut, Stand Up, and Nelly featuring Paul Wall, Ali, and Gip Grills.
Stand up.
Yep, same. Not even a question.
Not even a question.
14. Ludacris, Southern Hospitality, Nelly, Air Force Ones.
I need to
All day.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I like that track a lot. That's what
Fuck yeah.
I think that
Huge.
slaps.
This is when things started to get fucking wild and
yeah. Now they started to get a bit more.
This was cool.
This is usually how it works, right? You got to keep the average ones
halfway.
earlier. DJ Khaled featuring Ludacris, All I Do Is Win remix. Diddy featuring Nelly and Murphy Lee, Shake Your Tail Feather.
All Do Is Win remix for sure.
This is number 15. I went with that, and Tiff went with Diddy and Nelly. All I Do Is Win, classic. I mean, I'm not in love with it, but like, I respect it. Yeah. 16. Luda featuring Nate Dogg, Area Codes, and Nelly, Just a Dream.
Nate Dogg.
All day. Hang on, 16? Yeah. Area Codes is such a slapper. That's actually probably my favorite Ludacris song aside from What's Fantasy. It's huge. It's mostly because of the hook and just the concept is really cool and stuff. Right. Luda featuring Nelly, Moneymaker, and then Nelly, EI. Oh, yeah, that's a slapper. That's the first album classic. You can't go past that. I was like, whatever he played against, that was like Luda took that round. Like he took the fall on that round. Like you didn't have to play it. I think it's unreleased too. So like, or it was a song that wasn't
they said something about that, didn't they? They were talking about the label issue or whatever. It never came out. And he's like, oh, you need to send it to me after this. I'm like, what the fuck? As if he hasn't got a copy. Joint.
I mean, you know what? People don't always. They're too busy. They don't always like keep their hard drives on point. So that was a good one. Number 18, Luda, How Low, and then Nelly featuring Nicki Minaj and Pharrell, Get Like Me.
I can't even picture those joints.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't know either of those as well. I went with Nelly. Tiff went with Luda.
I was gonna say Nelly because it's
just a cooler beat.
Pharrell
actually was cool. I don't love it.
Picture it.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
That's why I went through everything today because like I had I couldn't remember, and also you got to remember these battles. The audio is whack. Like you can't
whack.
And I even plugged in the big monitors behind me to the computer. Had IG Live running through the computer, plugged in the monitors, which I don't do because the neighbors complained one time. So I'm like, fuck. And because there's zero bass in the thing, you could just crank it and it made no difference. It's hilarious.
Jesus Christ.
Okay, nearly done. Number 19, Ludacris, Move Bitch, Nelly, Hot in Here.
I mean, like, depends where you were smoking. Whether you're smoking in the car with the boys, you're at the club with whatever, So
different vibes. not a real fair comparison on that.
Nah, because they're
point.
different. I just go with Luda because that was more gangster.
Same, I went with that. No, Hot in Here was like a larger cultural moment.
Huge, like as far as outselling, like Diamond album, like blah blah blah.
Yeah, exactly.
Luda's got a little better catalog. It's weird.
If I heard Hot in Here, if it came on somewhere, I would leave that place where that song was playing. Like, and this also goes for the next Nelly song. So the finale was Usher featuring Ludacris and Lil Jon, Lovers and Friends, and Nelly featuring Kelly Rowland, Dilemma.
Yeah.
Where'd you go?
I mean, just gonna go for the biggest song, Dilemma. Fuck it, it was everywhere. But like that also pissed me off. That always happens.
I hate that song so much. I went with Luda because I didn't even know it, but the beat.
What was the Luda song again? Sorry,
Lovers and Friends with Usher.
Lovers and Friends. I can't even think about how that goes off the top.
So the one thing you could neither can I. It was like it was slow. It's a slow jam, but the sample was sick.
Okay.
The thing about a lot of these songs, like, and I didn't know what it was, the vast majority Nelly's were all of his solo songs, sometimes featuring other people, but I would say like 50% of Ludacris's stuff for other people feature. 50% is not fair, but like 30 to 40% were other people featuring Ludacris. So I don't know what the Tiff and I were talking before about it. We were like,
are you allowed to do features?
What's
a solo track?
Because it's like, I mean, whatever. It's a fun conversation. So it doesn't matter about the actual like intricate fucking.
Yeah, the rules shouldn't be too tight. Otherwise, you couldn't have certain matches because of like small technicalities. So that would kind of ruin the fun a little bit. Yeah.
But it was like it's cool to act because like Badu and Jill, I was not going to rate any of that stuff because everyone's a winner.
They both win, dude. Like. Not even
it was a different vibe. I guess it's different when it's like maybe because it's soul versus like hip hop. I don't know, but
I guess there's more love in soul off the jump than hip hop. There's more competition involved. So
yeah, I mean you could still vote if you wanted to, but I guess it's not that interesting. So it was it was a fun battle. Nelly had everyone was clowning him heavy. He had terrible Wi-Fi issues. He kept blaming the rain. Like they had a storm.
Apparently there was like lots of clouds and lots of weather, and then all of a sudden it came good. So like I think that might have been somewhat kind of like okay, but apparently Mississippi's fucked or wherever it is.
Missouri.
Sorry, my bad. Starts with M. And they said the things were bad, but you know I felt like Nelly was a little lit towards the end. It wasn't like
he was lit for sure.
All, like, all business. Well, you could see him kind of like going off camera to take the double cup sip, and then he's having a little smoke. It was pretty funny.
Nelly was wild. Nelly was out of control.
Good fun.
You can tell he wanted to keep it going.
Crazy Scorpios, eh? So
right? You guys are a handful.
Out here.
A handful.
Out here.
So that was a really good one. They didn't say what the next one is.
They didn't.
Now, we have a couple of other suggestions. Last week we had a few different ones. We're like, who could do? I have one that I found, but you said you had a few more. So run some of the ideas you got.
Interwebs. Yeah, I was scrolling through the old interwebs, and apparently Noriega claims that Eminem will take on DMX.
I saw
in the
that.
Next versus battle, and I was like, holy shit.
What do you think about that?
Well, pretty cool. And you know what's really maybe we should talk about this off air. But this guy that we know was talking like a bunch of shit in the comments, and it was just kind of like, he's calling them both addicts and shit, and it was very like, all right, fucking relax, bro. Like, you know.
What's that got to do with the battle? Why were they like?
Enough of that. That's silly.
Yeah.
It's just Eminem will take on DMX and the next thing, and the comments. There's a shitload of them on Hip Hop DX posted that.
Okay.
Around 5:00 today. So I was like, oh yeah.
Do you think that's a fair matchup?
I don't know.
Because they said that Eminem said yes. I mean, like
Eminem said yes.
That's what isn't that what Nori said in the post that Eminem agreed to it? If I'm not mistaken,
yes.
That's where I remember. I saw it, and I don't know why I didn't even think about putting it down for the podcast. I'm very glad you brought it up. Yeah, I am. I'm pretty sure it said if you find it.
Nori claims Eminem will take on.
Okay, there you go.
According to an Instagram post, Nori versus co-founder was Swiss. Spoke to Eminem, who was down to battle DMX. Beats apparently called X to let him know.
Okay. So because DMX was trying to battle Jay, if I remember that right, like this
Jay
week
Nas,
just passed. Yeah, Jay and Nas, like DMX is not on the same level as Jay-Z. I'm sorry, like come on, because DMX disappeared for many years and stuff. Like Jay did not. So already he's got that now, and Jay started a couple years before him. M started around the same time. It's Dark and Hell is Hot and Flesh My Flesh were both 98. Those two albums from DMX. And I think the Eminem Infinite EP was 98 or 90. No, I think Slim Shady LP was 99 or 2000. And Infinite would have been, that sounds about right. So about the same time. Eminem clearly
rings a
had a
bell.
larger cult. I mean, like, I don't know. I feel the interesting thing about the battles that I really like about them is that you don't know how you feel about it until people actually play the songs back to back, and you're like, oh, like this is some shit. Like you forgot how much certain tracks slap because you don't always. There's so much music right now. You don't go back to those like days. So if Eminem comes in and plays something like Kill You or Criminal or something like the second in the Marshall Mathers LP joints, and you haven't heard that for a minute. Like that was my favorite Eminem album.
Word.
Arguably yours too. But like that was, I think, the biggest one. So those songs would like. Can DMX keep? I mean, look, he had Rough Riders Anthem, and he, like off the first album, there wasn't anything. Like I feel like there wasn't monumental music except for like he changed the game. Party Up was everywhere, which I hate that song too because everyone keeps ruining songs. God damn it. I can't even think. See that unless I'm just having a. I mean, there's a What Them Bitches Want was pretty hard, shit like that. So I feel like. I don't think he's going to be able to compete. I feel like it's like an easy dub for M if he takes it.
It seems a little one-sided for sure because he's just got like, I don't know, shitloads more records, more fans, more projects by one.
No. I think M must have more. Like by
a few
like,
more?
Yeah, a few more.
It's just like got more to go against, I guess.
And I think that's the hard part about this because if it's not a fair catalog, like it's hard for it to even sort of even out. No one wants to see like a wash. No one wants to see someone get like fully like done for. That's boring. And you want it to be like a competition here.
That's true.
So I guess we're going to keep our eyes open for that one if that'll happen. I feel like they manifest pretty quickly. Like if they're saying that and then they'll work on it, I feel like if they can do it, be like, cool, Saturday, it's on, let's fucking go. So I feel like that'll be, if that happens, that would be very, very cool. Did you have some other ones that people suggested?
Let's have a look.
While you're looking for that, one that I don't think I came up with it, I think I must have seen it, was Ashanti versus Ciara.
Right. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
That kind of works, right?
I think it could work. I feel like Ciara doesn't have the same level as Ashanti because I was watching a snippet from IG Live that Fat Joe did with Ashanti, and they said that at one point she had 4 songs in the Billboard Top 5. So 3 of them were Ashanti songs or she was featured on, and then the 4th one was J-Lo that she wrote. Like, and that was more than the Beatles had like in one time. So she's had some shit, though at the same token, it was compounded into a shorter period of time. And I don't know what Ciara's like career length was. Because I was never a fan of Girl Front. Like, she's definitely not my vibe.
Hit and miss. There was a couple good joints. But
yeah, was cool. Oh, she worked with Jesse Faye, and he's sick. So I mean, like, that's always fun.
Now that had the whole. It was more Atlanta, right, down south, and they had that sort of dancing with the. Yeah. Yeah, they were like club records that came out when we weren't clubbing, and that's the hard part. Based on like if you don't have there's a lot of music that's come out that we have affinities to, but there's that type of stuff. Like I'm not gonna listen to songs you're supposed to dance to that much, because I ain't out dancing and shit. Like I don't know, or I don't have the whip. Or at least in Canada, I haven't had a whip for 10 years. Yeah, true.
So and that's a great place to listen to music.
Certain tracks too.
Certain styles.
Yeah, certain styles, certain tracks bump harder in the car than in the house.
Exactly. Like when I have a whip when we drive, when things were normal, we were driving to Toronto and everywhere regularly. Even then, I'm not even gonna lie, I listen to podcasts like 90% of the time, and like I'd listen to new music in the car, like shit that it would slap. I'm like, yeah, let me bump this in the whip. This will be fun.
Right.
And I appreciate that, and I actually miss that right now. Because there's something about that. And I keep seeing people say that. Like people are like, yo, you need to listen to this in the whip. And I feel like you get a different appreciation. Maybe you feel the bass, or if you're playing this shit off laptop speakers, like it's not the same.
It's definitely a feeling thing.
Yeah, man.
Especially if you got like a nice car with a nice system, like whether you got 6, 9 speakers or a sub in the back, you can really change the game.
Yeah, 100. Did you have any others for this one, or are we moving on from battles?
I didn't have it. I can't find the note that I had either. I don't know where it's gone. Things aren't working right now.
That's okay.
Just, told me to fuck off, so we'll have to fix that after too.
Did you lose? Did we lose it?
Well, a bunch of it just didn't. She's been a real cunt just now, but it's okay. We'll figure it out.
Okay, there is another way. We can just rip the audio from the video again. So if that's what happened, that's the only problem with Logic. For any producers or any musicians listening, It's
Doesn't
failed.
matter. I'll tell you after. It's fine, dude.
Okay, that's all right. Well, we can talk about it because it is a music podcast and people do like shit fucks
so
up.
basically, like when you open up a Logic session, there's a certain amount of time that it gives you, and then when you just record from the start, it should just keep fucking going. But it fucking stopped, and now I've missed about 20 minutes of audio because it's a piece of shit.
Oh, and it didn't tell you.
It doesn't even like I wasn't looking at the Logic screen. I'm looking at you. I'm looking at my notes. I'm trying to figure out what the fuck's going on. So then this kind of a thing just stopped recording at 51 minutes, and we've missed about, and we were talking for 10 minutes before this started, so we've missed at least that. And it didn't, like, usually if I did that in Pro Tools, it would have just kept going until I pressed stop. But it just decided to stop because the session wasn't made that long. So it's a piece of absolute ass shit.
Okay.
So fuck Logic right now. But it's okay.
That's all right. There's ways to patch it if we want to patch it, or we could just do the easy route and just slap it from the thing. But
slap it from the thing. It's fine.
Any musicians here definitely know the struggle.
That's the first time it's ever done that. It usually just keeps going. I don't know why. It just decided to fuck me today.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Of course, right at the time we're trying to step the audio up, but it's that's the one thing that always made me nervous, was recording something at once in something that long, was in a program.
I've never had this problem though. I've never
Really,
had that happen to me until today. It's just like, all right, Logic is definitely a cunt sometimes. It's like, bro,
I wonder
it's okay.
I wonder if we'll talk about it later, but I wonder if like being on the internet and having something as heavy as
it's just
Skype
a program
streaming.
setting thing. It shouldn't have stopped where it stopped. It should have just allowed me to keep going rather than saying, no, you didn't say I could go this far.
Okay.
It's like, fucking dickhead, I'm recording, all right?
What can you, right?
Let me go.
Anyway, okay. So that's fine. At least there's always a way around. All right, so the battles are done. Now, we have 2 questions. I think we're going to take one of them for this episode and take one of the next. So one thing we want to talk about, I thought was an interesting thing, is in this new day and age, and even when we were coming up, like things have changed. So what does success in hip-hop look like right now? Or at least in music, but specifically in hip-hop, because I think that's the thing that people watching or listening could relate to the most. Yeah, if you have any thoughts. Because like I was saying, in our day, it was different. Like even 10 years, it looked different. And then 20 years ago, it looked different. Because there are different things you could do easily or not so easily. So do you have any thoughts in general about that? Or have your perceptions on what's possible or what you need to do to feel like you succeeded, has that changed as, I don't know, the landscape changed? Type of thing.
Well, basically now hip-hop looks like independence. Ownership, having your own shit, having your own team, having your own setup, having your own stuff. 10 years ago when we were, in Australia or even further, it's all about, let's go get a deal, sign to a major, we're going to get some linking with some other teams and other businesses, which always end up fucking you in the end. So now it's all about ownership, independence, touring, and getting a way, or if you're going to go the major, you're only doing it for assistance to get like distribution, or it's not like a full deal. It's just like the right amount of assistance that you need to get to the next sort of step. Because there's a lot of independents that just got a, whatever you call it, like a side-by-side deal with the fucking, I don't know. So yeah, hip hop now, success is having your own setup, own team, and owning everything.
I like that. I think that's definitely what it is. And I think the other question is like, so there's also the chances of like, before it was like, success meant winning a Grammy, having a platinum album, having a fucking #1, blah, blah, blah. I think those metrics still matter to some people, but I feel like the vast majority of people, it's almost like, I don't know, I feel like if you can live off the music and the money that you make from your music, whether it's through sync placements, through like your streaming royalties and sales of the actual music, through merch, and through whenever the shit gets back to normal live shows. Did I say publishing as well? So actually the back end, the radio plays as well from the other side.
Yep.
If you could make a sustainable living, I feel like that feels kind of like success. Like in my mind now, like before it had to always be like playing arenas or like accepting the Grammy and stuff. But now you realize Grammys don't mean shit. It's rigged.
No.
Even like
absolutely.
I saw today a bunch of talk about the Billboard. It's like it was trending on Twitter about Billboard being rigged because I don't want to talk about him again, but 6ix9ine went on a rant about it because he thought he got screwed because of... Did you see that?
I did.
Yeah. So like without giving him shine because I don't want to, but like he was accusing Ariana Grande and her team of purchasing sales and stuff, which look, it's 100% how things fucking go. Like, I don't have a doubt that that's how shit goes. Everything is shady. But like, so like, does that even matter if you can buy it? Like, who cares?
Yeah.
So like, I don't know. Like, I don't.
There's no merit. There's no authenticity with it. It's just like, who's got enough money? Who's got the most money?
Pretty much, exactly. And what fun is that? Like, that's a boring, it's a minimal game
Yeah.
that like people can't play. Like, it's only a certain few people can play. So now, like you said, because of this, like I feel like you have to do something else to make you stand out. Doing a podcast like this, where we do this week in, we're going to be consistent with it. Like week in and week out, it's I don't know. I feel like there's a way to start to build it up so we can have other success. So what does it actually look like? Like when I feel, I don't know, I always visualize there's a venue in Montreal called, used to be called Metropolis. Fuck, I forgot what it's called now. Changed the name. They always change the damn names. But it's basically like 2,000 people. And I always thought like, if I could fill that up, I'd be pretty happy. If we could, do shows and fill that up, if you think about that. Or I'd always visualize definitely some sort of gold or platinum plaques. I would like the plaques. The awards don't interest me. They never really did. I've never been interested in awards, but I would like a gold or platinum record, which I think is completely plausible, particularly if you get a bit of streaming momentum, get on some playlists and stuff like that. You can hit that mark, which is pretty cool. Like what else would it? I'd like like getting some sync placements in movies, film, commercials, things like that to keep shit. Yeah. Just feeling like that people, and I don't know, it's almost like that, like when we, in the beer world, this is an interesting thing too. In the beer world, our podcast is that you got to think about the hip hop world is massive. There are literally millions of people we are competing with doing our shit. M Tell Us, Tiff said. It's called M Tell Us. It's exactly it. My bad. And she says, say hey to Uncle Mike. And then Grim says, sorry, just to interrupt. There's also a censored version of Chingy's first song. I can't remember the name of it though. Oh, Holiday Inn. When you mentioned the tip drill video, that jogged my memory. You talking Holiday Inn?
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that was...
There's those feature with...
Maybe there's another one of Chingy's song. I think oh, right there. Maybe that's what he's talking about. Yes, Tiff said it too, yeah.
There's a remix with Luda on it.
Yes.
Holiday Inn.
And he did play that during it, but he played like some stuff when Nelly was fucking up. Yeah, Luda stayed on. Holiday Inn was... No, I was Chingy at the Holiday Inn. What you doing? Now we chilling. That Cassidy was the R. Kelly song. Motel and the Kid Cassidy. Even though we can't talk about R. Kelly. Problematic Light, if we had one. The Hotel R. Kelly is just one of the best songs of all time, and I really wish I could listen to that again. Can't do that no more. Girl, you want to come to my hotel? Yeah, that's unfortunately the Problematic Man. But like, as far as like what was I saying about? Oh yeah, the beer thing. So the beer world is tiny, right? So the amount of impact we've been able to have with our podcast and our presence on YouTube and our social media following in that world has been very fast and very impactful in comparison to what we've been able to do in music over a longer time, because we were doing things that nobody else was doing. So essentially, wherever I go, if I go to a beer festival in Denver, or I go to a brewery in Vermont, or I go to fucking anywhere in Ontario or Quebec, I get recognized in a brewery. People want to talk to me. People want to take photos all the time. It happens all the time. I'm like, every time it happens, fuck, I wish this was just for rap. So to me, I would feel successful if I was able to walk down the street in a place, because the beer thing only happens in beer places. One time it happened at a subway station, but every other time it happens in a beer place, because that's the context that people know us in, right? It's very specific. I would feel, and it's not about like fucking ego, fucking circle jerk shit. It's just about like, oh, I'm impacting people. Like if people come up to me in the street, go, yo, you see, and that's happened. It has happened before, but like a handful of times over the years, as opposed to it happens every single time we go to a brewery for the other stuff.
True.
And you too, like whatever. But it's like when people, yeah, man, I fuck with your music, bro. And like the beer people are doing that now. The beer people have come. There was a dude at the BAOS Festival a couple of years ago when dudes come up and was like, yo, the podcast, yo, I dig your music, man. I was like, yo, that meant more to me, because that doesn't happen very often. So if I know that it's impacting people and they're appreciating the content, that's why I'm hoping something like this podcast, that one is an excuse to hang out with my brother and then talk about rap music for every week. That's sick. But also, if it helps build both of our profiles a bit more to encourage more people to check out our shit, because we do put a lot of effort into our music and it means a lot to us, that would be success. I would feel successful, as opposed to any monetary thing. So like, platinum, because that means enough people have listened to it to be impacted by it, and then being able to be, man, that's good. Or just being, people wanting to work with you or getting offers to do some stuff. So it's inbound versus outbound. I don't want outbound stuff. I don't want that for everything. I want all the that's what everybody wants. You want to work to a level where all the opportunities come to you, and you don't have to be like, hey, and you can just pick and choose the ones that you do. And then when you do reach out, there's a larger chance they're going to want to do it because your profile and people like appreciate what you've doing.
What you've been doing. Exactly. Yeah.
Do you have any thoughts on that, to expand on that type of success? Because I think you're right. It's all, and all of that comes under the banner of what you said before about independent, working with a very small team. It's me, you, and Tiff. It always sort of has been. We mess with the, key individuals that we work with. Micah for the DJing, and like Josh Telfer, who does a lot of our covers and photography. Richard Bassarash, who does our videos and stuff like that. So we've got certain key people that have been consistent, but like all under this independent thing. It would be sick to have a partner though to help us. So like I don't care about being signed to a label, but have a publishing deals to help us get sync opportunities, have maybe some sort of marketing deal so we can be promoted through other avenues, and maybe a distribution deal to get it out there. You can give away some of the points just to get that out there, and they help you with playlisting and stuff. I'm down for that. That's important to me because I think that's the only other way. And Grim says it was right there. Yeah. So do you have any thoughts on that? Sorry to...
No, you said it all. Yeah, no, nothing really further to add to it, no.
But for you personally, like, is there anything that you've been like, oh, I'm going to feel, say like I meditate every day, and I've been visualizing sort of maybe like 5 to 10 years in the future, and like the place I want, the house I want, and the cars and the people around me, what the yard's going to look like, what I'm doing, the studio in the house, the gym in the house, the office in the house, and in the house, I'm going to have a whole bunch of platinum plaques on the wall. That's important to me. And just like, maybe cool show, like even just behind me here, this side, on there, they're just some of our show posters that we've had. We did our own tour and like small things like that. These made me feel like I like that. Just like a bunch of shit that you've done that's cool.
It's good to see your accomplishments.
Yes. Like, do you have things like that? Is there anything like, oh man, I just want this to happen and I'll feel fucking great? Like, if you got anything like that?
The only thing, I just want like one production house where like I have, a full studio which is not in my lounge room. I want like a separate place to go to. But I also do enjoy it being, within my own place. But like I want like it's a separate room I just want a bigger, more established studio. That's the only thing I really want. Everything else is gravy right now. Yeah.
So you don't really, not even about right now. So I'm talking like, 5-10 years career type shit. Do you have... Like, is a platinum selling single or album or something important to you, or winning an award, or is there any, if I work with this artist that's going to make my life, like, do you have things like that, or is it kind of not really thinking of it like that?
All my goals lately, not lately, just a little, have changed. So I haven't really written anything down or like been thinking about things too far ahead. Because things have been crazy, but I will get to that. I have nothing really
specific. I'm not even talking lately. Like, have you just like all time, like 20 years ago before you started rapping, you might have been like, fuck man, if I did a song with Snoop, that would be amazing. Like, what I'm saying, shit like that, or not really?
Nothing I can think of right now.
Okay, just curious.
I can come back to you with that.
Yeah, I think this is it's a good question because it's like something that everybody thinks about, like, and people. The social media sort of age is full of people fronting about like their achievements and what they've done and what things mean. Like, oh, I'm on this like website that has 15 followers on Facebook and Instagram, and everyone you gas it up a bit, and everyone knows that's bullshit. But it's something that like it's harder to see through everyone's smoke and mirrors to what's a real achievement and what's just like people just trying to show something that they're doing stuff. So it's like, it's an interesting time for that type of thing. So I'm like, you got to do that, I guess. Any little thing that happens, you got to promote it. You got to talk about it online to show some sort of success. Because if people see social proof, people see you doing one thing and maybe, like that's why even though no one cares, but if you get a look from Pigeons and Planes or Complex or something, even though no one cares about blogs, it just looks good on the neck. If you're like, oh fuck, oh okay, Complex posted about it, maybe I will check it out
on all the different kind of mediums.
Exactly. So that's one way, or like having a feature or something. But I don't know if the feature actually moves the needle depending on who it is. I've seen different things like as far as like what a feature can actually do, because there's maybe features that we care about. Maybe if I get a song with say Fonte, it's like top of my list. Actually, I have a vision wall right here, and the 4 artists I'm looking at: Craig David, Erykah Badu, Quabs, and Sohn. So like that's people I would love to work with. That would mean everything to me. And also I probably should put up their Fonte. But like if I get a song with any of those people, except for me, probably Badu would be the only one that anyone would care about. The rest of them are just more because I want to work with them.
Nice.
But that's like, yeah, that would be sick. But it's sort of like I feel like you got to keep stepping it up across the board and get to a point where people care. It's an interesting process these days. It's completely changed.
Yeah, man. I'd probably just want to rap on a Ninth Wonder beat, rap on a Primo beat, engineer something crazy, engineer something like a big artist, like I don't know, J. Cole or something like that.
Sick.
Like just get big placements, do a co-produce with IllMind on like a movie or some shit.
Dope. All great goals.
So things like that. That's my mainly production engineering goals.
Yeah, I love it.
As far as that, yeah.
I feel like
that'll lead to everything else.
Exactly. Let's see. All you need is like one, and this is the same with everything. All you need is that one look, and if you're smart, you're able to, you can leverage that to whatever you need. We see it all the time with YouTubers. Like, I mean, it happens with music, but like we've been studying the YouTube game lately, and like a lot of channels, like we have our social media channel too, and there's the other ones that are bigger, and they talk. These 2 different people I'm thinking of. They all talked about different things. And then the videos of theirs that popped happened to be about Instagram, and all of a sudden they're fucking Instagram experts, and that's what they talk about. And they've got either tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of subscribers. But I'm like, man, this person doesn't know shit about this. They're just making stuff. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. But like that's all they needed, and then all of a sudden you have credibility. So it's the same thing with music. But the thing is that it's more fickle in music than I think that it is on YouTube. You can leverage that into stuff. With music, you've got less time to leverage that into something else. It's an interesting problem, because even the people that popped, someone like a good example was Cardi B. She had the Bodak song. Her team of geniuses, they dominated that. It was amazing how they turned that into, she was just a reality star who before that was a stripper, and then they turned that and they leveraged her personality. They kept that one song going. I think it was like 6 to 8 months, and she recorded all these features, and they just left it that once. And then when it got to fever pitch, where that song was getting bigger and bigger, it hit #1, and then boom, I think they hit them with the she featured on the G-Eazy joint. She featured on the Bruno Mars joint. She was on that what's the dude, Adam Levine joint. Like all these different things, and it was such a wicked rollout. But if you look at Designer, fuck's he at?
Right.
He had Panda. He had that Timmy Turner joint. That was kind of cool. And then that was it. So Good Music really dropped the ball on him. If that was their fault, I guess, or it was his fault, I don't know. But it's an interesting thing, because it can go either way. All of a sudden you're everywhere, and then I saw people tweeting about it today, and they go, and then you're nowhere. That McConan dude, the Dre, that club on a Tuesday song was terrible, but they didn't leverage him right. He didn't go anywhere. So it's like, even if you have a hit in music, it's
maybe
still...
they're not prepared with like the line of bangers to come next. Maybe they're just not ready. They didn't have enough songs to start. Like they shouldn't have rolled out because they didn't have enough songs to back it up.
But then maybe that's a very good point. But like they could be like, they didn't expect it to blow up. So like any song you put out, that could have happened.
Why would you? Yeah.
So say like, I don't know, I put out 12 singles in 2017. Like I had other singles coming, but maybe something that didn't slap as hard as another one, because it wasn't like they were all. I feel like they all went hard. I wouldn't have released them if I didn't think they did. But like maybe you had something you're like, oh fuck, they like that sound. Oh, what do I do? And then you got to pull all your shit back and be like, okay, now what? And you've got to reassess. And I think there's like a smaller window for executing on that and making that happen. It's different. Where I think on YouTube, if you have a video that goes viral or just gets some momentum, I think you've got a little bit more time and you can do a little bit more with it. I feel like there's more control, because music is just out there into the world in a different way, whereas YouTube is your channel. They come there for a reason. Depending on what kind of video it is that goes viral, if it's like something dumb like a challenge or something, or if it's actually you're sharing information and teaching something, like one of your mixing videos goes hard, then like fuck, you have to like quadruple down. It's almost you got to stop everything else to like quadruple down on that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that's just, you know what I'm saying? It's a different kind of approach.
That's crazy.
I think I might be wrong, but anyway, Grim is asking, do you guys have some new music in the works? I think we might have talked about it last week, but do you want to let that run? Then we're just hour 10, so that's actually a good time to finish up on that question.
Yeah, I had like an EP kind of planned. I've only got a couple songs to finish on it, so I was thinking of like a 6-ish song EP. So yeah, loosely planning that. Mainly just working on behind the scenes stuff, like mixing clients, mixing C's new album as well.
Yep.
So yeah, just doing lots of stuff.
Nice. I've got a bunch of stuff coming. Like I have a collab EP with this producer Smokewell, who also raps, named Decipher. So we have finished the album, the project, so the EP. We're just waiting. We need a verse from Notion, and we need cuts from Digital Junkie, who was on here earlier, and then that thing is done. So we're gonna drop that. I was hoping next month, but it depends how long it takes to get the cuts because the pandemic is making things a little tough. And then I have my album Relentless that Notion is now mixing. We're going full steam. We are ready to go and pull the trigger on this album. So Notion is getting that together. I'm working with Josh Telfer on the cover right now. I talked to Rich about the videos. So that album is something that I've had in the works for 5 goddamn years. So I'm really looking forward to having that out because it's just been such a lengthy process. It's really frustrating. But I'm looking forward to having that out. Anything else you want to leave everyone with, my mans?
Thanks for coming back to join us on this second episode, and get it in you.
We'll be back every Monday. So Monday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, North American time, I guess, for those in Australia. Here on YouTube Live, and then we drop the audio everywhere. So guys, appreciate y'all. Thank you so much for tuning in. Oh, do you know what, Nosh? Just before I do the full thing, we're going to do the thumbnail. There we go. Ready? Hang on, there we go. Screenshot. There we go. Last episode,
Sorted.
I had to try and find a screenshot, and God, that was annoying in the thing, in the video. Try and scroll and find something we both didn't look like dickheads. It was tough.
It's hard to make us not look like dickheads, mate.
Oh, mate, we do our best. We do our best out here.
Yeah.
So appreciate y'all for tuning in. Make sure follow The Movement Fam, at The Movement Fam everywhere. The website is themovementfam.com. The podcast Bad Habits. Now we are officially on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. So if y'all are fucking with what we're doing, it actually would really help more than ever, particularly right now because we need to get some momentum and people subbing and following. Follow us on Spotify and on Apple Podcasts. If you hit subscribe and give us a rating, a 5-star if you feel that way, and a little quick word, just like shit is dope or something. A comment that really, really helps. So check that out. Where can everyone follow you on social?
At Notion Baby on everything.
Okay.
And for IllNote Studios, it's at IllNote Studios on Instagram and Facebook. And
IllNoteStudios.com if you need mixing, mastering, or production, or even photography.
Yep.
Of your products.
Let's go.
Been doing some fire lately. And you can check me out at CWFOR, Twitter, and Instagram, and CTMF on Facebook and Bandcamp, and I think CTMF.com as well. I think, of course it is. I know that. So we're going to run out with the music, and then we are going to shut up, Rattles, and we're going to play another music video to see y'all out. So guys, where is the button? There it is. Appreciate y'all. Thank you for tuning in. We'll see y'all next week. Stay safe. Here we go.
Thanks, y'all. Peace.
Yeah. She slaps.
Thanks, mate.
Hey. Yeah, Nosh, yeah, see, it's a special one, mate. Yes, sir. Let's get it. I found life, found truth. I found life, found fuel, and I found me, found jewels, and I found. Yeah, since I found my little passion, I've been f***ing with a heavy fan. Raps done taking me from Melbourne to Atlanta, man. From a kid with 2 tape decks and a pattern pen to working with my idols on a top 10 album 10. I found a way to really live it up. Music hella tough as still we never quittin', bruh. Me and Notion coming up, we like a decade plus. Our hand is moving in our favor every minute us.
it, I done found my new home, found my new vibe, I done found my new zone. Compound the crew life in a circle really smaller than it ever was. I'm losing hella trust, you can never sit with us. Never. I done found my new passion, crew podcasting. Dude so mashed in the mood, so Aspen. Cool, just asking, Bruce stay blasting. Winning so hard at this YouTube and that hate past tense. Yeah, I found my queen and it's the greatest. Visualize the millions, we gon' make better. Dominate the playlist and sacrifice our social life for greatness. Man, that's how the legacy awaits us. Fam, I done found my soul raw, no pounding on old doors. Still rocking soul beats, Kanye, yeah, 04. Same seat, new sound, new life, new ground, new light, new path, new breath I found. You, mate, we wake up every fucking day grateful as that we're here, that we're doing this, that we're breathing, that we're living. Man, give it up for the universe one time, let's do it. I found life, found truth. I found life, found fuel. And I found me, found jewels. And I found since I found you, I had a permanent reminder just to keep focused on it, hustle with the blinders. Music takes me higher and frees me. I really put my life on the page, dog, believe me. Heartfelt songs deeper than the diary entry, cause others find comfort in it when they tank's empty. And you didn't have to thank me, it's helping me more than you know. I can weather the weather light as a feather wherever I flow. So let me express a bit, allow me to document the happy and the stressful so I can reflect and learn from all the excellence. I got teachings come from deep inside my residence. Since I met you, I never left you. You even helped me see my rent too, boo. You're so special, dust through dawn, forever in the lab. It's sad, you taught me the gift of gab. I'm doing you proud for dad. Like I just escaped beat looping. For anybody f***ing with my movement, I'ma have to shake Bluetooth. Turned a 3 to a 6 since I found you. Moved Melbourne to Toronto, going for the crown jewels. I found life and I found truth. On top of wow in your eyes, we light the crowd too. Straight astound you. You're gazing it serious in the face. My star will leave you blind. You can take off to the sky since I found you. Found life, found truth. I found life, found fuel. And I found me, found jewels. And I found